I think everyone who hears about King's Knight falls into this trap. Someone describes the gameplay, mentions that the game is not very good overall, but people still go, yeah, I gotta try that. It sounds kind of neat. And then they play it and go, oh, it really isn't good. There are a lot of pieces here for a good game, but they never manage to come together. The box tells you that King's Knight is a formation RPG. This is a lie. As you can see, the game is actually a vertically scrolling shoot-'em-up. While you can level up your characters, as far as I can tell, levels do nothing in this game. The level is actually the sum of all the power-ups that you've collected. So it doesn't give you any more hit points, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you're any stronger. There are 5 stages in King's Knight, and you always play through the first 4. On those 4 stages, you're controlling a different hero. There's Rayjack the Knight, Kaliva the Wizard, Barusa the Monster, and Toby the Kid Thief. Presumably he's a kid who is a thief, not a thief who steals kids. They each have their own individual stage, and on those levels you have to blow up as much terrain as possible in order to locate power-ups. You can also jump on top of the destructible terrain. You do that by pressing against the side of it, not against the front or back of it. Survive until the end of the stage, and then they march off to meet their destiny. Die, and you just go on to the next character. After you've been through all 4 stages, the surviving characters meet up at stage 5 where they're off to rescue a princess. There's a catch, however. To complete that 5th stage, you need all 4 characters, and all of them had to have found a set of power-ups in their own stages. So if you lose somebody, you're in a dead man walking state. The stages are always played in the same order, and they are very slow moving. If you're having trouble on the 4th stage, you still have to play through the first 3 before you can get there. One challenge with shooting up the terrain is that it often releases monsters, and these monsters require multiple hits to destroy until you get powered up. You can only have a certain number of shots on the screen at once, and that means that you often can't react very quickly to the monsters emerging. Your characters are extremely slow when they start out, too. Without some speed power-ups, you're going to have a tough time dodging anything. Let's start breaking down these power-ups. The most common things you're going to see are these arrows pointing up and down. The arrow up heals you, the arrow down hurts you. Everything other than that arrow pointing down is actually a power-up, so be sure to collect everything else. The spring increases your jump level up to level 7. Since the only thing you can jump up to is the destroyable terrain, it doesn't really make much of a difference. The boots increase your speed up to 7 times. I never reached the point where I felt like I was going too fast. Instead, I always felt like I was going too slow, so keep getting them. Speed doesn't help you in the water, unfortunately. You've got a lot of inertia while you're in it, and tend to drift all over the place. And you know that poor control quality is a great thing in a shoot-'em-up. The ball is a weapon attack increase. You can get up to 3 of those, and they'll increase the number of shots you can have on screen. The shield's probably the most important of these. It can increase your defense up to 3 times. That will decrease the amount of damage you take from enemies. Getting stuck in terrain will still kill you, though. Then there are these 4 panels that represent magic power-up. Each one is the magic for a different hero, but it has to be collected on all 4 stages in order for that hero to use the magic. If you've collected all 4 pieces, you can use their magic on the 5th stage by pressing B. The wizard's magic in particular is vital, because it destroys a wall that blocks the path. There's 2 more useful things to know about. This Pokeball has a magical effect on the terrain. It can reveal all the indestructible monoliths that will block your path, or it can raise an island out of the ocean to get you some more power-ups. The steps take you to a dungeon where there's some traps, a few more power-ups, and a mini-boss to fight. On the final stage, these panels rotate your formation. It can be 1 step in that direction, or in the case of the U-turn, 2 steps. I strongly recommend using a rapid-fire controller with King's Knight. The way that monsters just drop out of terrain on you can be instantly lethal, and if you have a rapid-fire controller, you'll shoot much faster than they appear. Power-ups and items always appear in the same places on stages, so you can memorize where they are, or use this strategy guide, which is also a comic book, to tell you what to collect. From what I hear, most kids liked reading the comic more than they enjoyed playing the game. And yeah, King's Knight does not feel good to play. It's a slog to get through each individual level. The characters don't really feel very differentiated. And there's a lot of no-fun gotcha moments in it. The thing I found most interesting in King's Knight were some of the creative enemy patterns, like how these guys always follow the road, or these guys that just walk the shorelines. It's not like King's Knight is a bad game. It's not totally incompetent. It's just they had a bunch of ideas that they put into the game, and didn't seem to think about how they'd work together. They must have liked the setting, though. Right after this, the team would start work on a more ambitious game, though it winds up being delayed quite a while.